My wildcard is active for FPL Gameweek 6, and here's an early look at how the squad is shaping up. Let's get straight into it then, looking at the goalkeepers and defenders. I will be answering all comments within 24 hours of this video going live, so do drop them below. Let's get it to 1,000 likes and subscribe if you haven't already. It is a double up on the Arsenal defence. I've gone Raya in goal and then Gabriel in my defence. We've seen now rotation in the fullback spots for Arsenal, which puts me off going there. And while I would like Saliba alongside Gabriel, going with Raya saves me about 0.5 million, so that's quite an important saving. Those managers last season that doubled up on the Arsenal defence early were hugely rewarded. We've seen enough from their defence potential over the course of the start of the season to make me think that it's still worth going with that double up. And the next three fixtures, Leicester at home, Southampton at home, Bournemouth away, it doesn't get to look any better than that. For my second defender, I've gone with Manchester City's Vardiol. There is a rotation risk there, which is a concern, but I do think that increasingly we're going to see more minutes for Kyle Walker on the right-hand side of City's defence, and that will leave Vardiol to be more attacking, the same role that he played last season. Given that Manchester City have got some great upcoming fixtures, I've decided to go back to him, having sold him Game week 4, he's now back in on the wild card. Now I've added in as my third defender Lewis Dunk because I feel like Brighton are a top half team and I'm expecting some good performances from them this season, again given that they've not got Europe to worry about. Dunk has that goal threat, that aerial threat from set pieces, does take a free kick occasionally himself as well, and I expect clean sheets to be on the way for Brighton fairly soon. Now, there wasn't much room for bench players here, so I've gone with the bare bones. Fabianski, the 4 million goalkeeper backup. I guess the positive for him is that Areola tends to pick up an issue every now and again. We've already seen that this season, so he's there as an option on the bench if needed. I've also gone with Vandenberg. Brentford have got a really nice fixture swing in their favour now, and it looks like Vandenberg could be a starter in their defence. The only kind of contentious issue here is that they have played a back 5 in the last few games. If they switch back to a back 4, we don't know if Vandenberg is nailed in there, so it's a little bit of a risk, but as a fourth defender I think it's fine. And then I've got Wout Faes. I think Leicester have been the most consistent defence of the promoted teams, and with lots of 4 million options at their disposal, Fez seems like a good one because they're not conceding loads of goals per game, and he has got that little bit of goal threat as well. Moving into the midfield then and completing a triple up on Arsenal players, it's Bukayo Saka. I've decided to go double defence rather than double attack because Havertz, you never quite know what position he's going to play in, and with Odegaard out, it does kind of weaken that Arsenal defence in the long term. But Saka's just a talisman of the side, so consistent, penalties as well. He was a lock. Now, I've also had my head turned by Chelsea after their win against West Ham at the weekend, and you know, there is lots of rotation expected there, but Cole Palmer, I think it looks like he could potentially justify his price tag now. In among the attacking returns consistently this season, we know he's on penalties. We also know that he's not in Chelsea's Europa Conference League squad, which is quite critical. We know he's going to get the starts in the Premier League now. João Felix may be the only player providing a threat in the 10 role. Maresca has come out and said that Palmer is his 10. So, yeah, 10.6 million. I am going to go there. That does mean no Liverpool in this squad because I overlooked the fullbacks. I have overlooked Salah as well. I just can't fit him in. I wanted Saka and Palmer instead. You can't have both. And there wasn't any funds left for a Diaz either, although I'm not as convinced on Diaz because we are inevitably going to see lots of rotation in those front 3 spots at Liverpool, regardless of Salah. You've got Gakpo and Diaz sharing minutes. You're going to have Darwin and Jota sharing minutes as well. So I think given that Liverpool's fixtures are maybe turning a bit tougher now, I think it's fine to jump off. And Burmo is in. Again, a very good performance from him. We didn't know how Brentford were going to look without Wissa, but they still look okay. And Mbermo has been one of the most consistent performers so far this season. It's great to see him fully fit. The fixtures are there, the form's there. He is a lock. And then for my fourth midfielder, I've gone with Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers, who finally, deservedly, got his first couple of attacking returns of the season. He is the only Aston Villa player in this side because I am worried about how they're going to fare with a pretty intense Champions League schedule this season. But Rodgers has played 90 minutes in every single game so far. Hopefully he gets the midweek off. More on the midweek fixtures soon. But I think he's going to be fantastic value. Has seen a price rise to 5.1 million now, and that leaves, it is a 3-4-3 formation. It leaves Harry Winks on my bench. He stays from my original squad. I have got about 0.4 million in the bank to play with, so I could choose to upgrade my fifth midfielder. I could also look to upgrade my third, fourth or fifth defender instead. So there is a bit of flexibility there as we look forward. Moving in to the forward line then, and the budget pick here is João Pedro. It was great to see him back in the Brighton squad at the weekend against Nottingham Forest. And Hurst said pre-match about how important João Pedro is to the side. We've seen that their performances are better with him in the team. He does start at the 10, move forward when Welbeck gets tired, and that's always good news to see. He's also on penalties, so I think he's a great long-term hold and still a great enabler at this price point as well. No Watkins in here, which is a bit of a shame. I just couldn't fit him in with the budget. To get him in with Saka and Palmer, it was pretty impossible. So gone with Solanke. He got his first goal of the season last time out. The first goal for him in a Spurs shirt, and I think he's only going to build from there. Really solid performance from Spurs once again, and you know, why not go for the cheap 7.5 million number 9 as the coverage from that Spurs attack? Will he be on penalties? That's still the question we want to know. And of course Haaland is in there, so it's a Haaland only team, no Salah. I mean, you run out of things to say about Haaland, don't you? I mean, he's just been incredible. What a sensational start to the season. Probably one of the best starts to the season of any player in Premier League history. He just looks different this season. He's a permanent captain every single week. Some great fixtures for Manchester City as well. So I couldn't not have him in the team. Now, it's worth noting that we do have a busy midweek ahead with Europa League matches getting underway. We've got Manchester United in action on Wednesday. We've got Spurs in action on Thursday. And the League Cup third round also continues this week with Leicester City in action and Manchester City, Newcastle and Chelsea and Aston Villa all on Tuesday, and then Arsenal, Liverpool and West Ham on Wednesday. So the draft that I've shared with you is subject to change, but I will give you a final update on Thursday about how the team is looking. So make sure to get this one up to 1,000 likes, subscribe, hit the notify button so that you don't miss the updated team later in the week. And I'm answering all comments within 24 hours of this one going live as well. Thank you for watching.